one major government action from any country that going to occur in the next 5 days. I won't be surprised when you refuse to do so. On the 10th of September, 2008, I am not at liberty to discuss such intimate immediate detail, and in many cases, I am not far enough up the hierarchy to know anyway. Typically, I would receive a call a day before the enactment of a major event, just to say something along the lines of this part of such and such a plan will take place tomorrow, in such and such a way. Do not be alarmed. Also, one has to take into account the specific areas of specialty I mentioned previously. My area is in spirituality, so my focus is not so much on geopolitical events. I am aware of the overall design, though the finer points are not often my area of expertise. I am prepared to give you some things coming down the timeline that you will be able to look back upon and verify my predictions retrospectively. The stock markets will soon complete their controlled demolition. After an initial appearance that the bailouts and rescue packages have steadied the ship, there will be new record lows by the end of the month. Our financial institutions will later call in all loans. There will be many bankruptcies and foreclosures. The only way John McCain will become the next US president will be if something happens to Barack Obama before the election. If there even is an election. If a certain faction get their way, there will not be. Remember, behind the scenes, there is only one party, our party. Democracy is an illusion which is created to uphold your slavery. Whichever side wins, the family wins. There are many possibilities and alternative scripts. All of them led toward the ultimate implementation of the overall blueprint of our creator. Unless any unforeseen disruptions delay its announcement, there will be a new currency by the end of 2008 early 2009, along with a new Union of Nations. January has been spoken of in some circles as the latest, though there are plans underway which could even bring this to fruition much earlier than initially hoped for. It depends upon the results of other upcoming events as to how this will play out. I am not high enough up the hierarchy to know the intimate details of the dates and times that far in advance. There is a tree system in which such knowledge is passed down, as and when it becomes need to know. I would be considered to be a regional leader. Above me are national and international. San Francisco and Damascus will be uninhabitable by the end of 2010, possibly even sooner. Again, it depends upon certain forces at play, and which timelines are activated. Humanity, though utterly unconscious of the fact, has a significant part to play in this. You, as a collective consciousness of the planet, are choosing the negative polarization by default, by the quality of your thoughts and actions. Thought is creative energy. Focused, you get exactly what you put out. Why do you think the media is so important to us? You have, as a society, in your hypnotized comatose state, given your free will consent to the state your planet is in today. You saturate your minds with the unhealthy dishes served up for you on your televisions that you are addicted to: violence, pornography, greed, hatred, selfishness, incessant bad news, fear and terror. When was the last time you stopped to think of something beautiful and pure? The planet is the way it is because of your collective thoughts about it. You are complicit in your inaction. Every time you look the other way when you see an injustice, your thought at the subconscious level of creation to the creator is your allowance of these things to occur. In so doing, you are serving our purpose. It is very important to us that the polarization of this planet is negative at the time of the great harvest. That means service to self-orientated, as opposed to positive service to others. We require a negative harvest, and you are doing a fine job of helping us to attain our goal. We are very grateful. There will be dramatic changes to your climate and weather conditions over the next few years. As the time of the great harvest approaches, you will see wind speeds surpassing 300 miles per hour at times. There will be raging tsunamis and widespread devastation, and a solar emission in late 2009 early 2010 that will cause major melting of the ice caps, and subsequent drastic rise in sea levels, leaving many international, metropolitan areas underwater. That is all I have time for at present. I have a sacrifice I must attend now. No, not really. Let's see if we can increase the depth of inquiry and question matter in the next session. Seek beyond the superficial. Get to the core of the matter. End of first session. Click here to read the follow-up discussions by members of the above top secret forum. Second session. How do you know that your bloodline deserves to lead and the rest deserve to follow? Wealth and power is self-propagating, therefore I say to you that your bloodline only comprises the extreme elite of the world because your ancestors came to power by chance in the beginning, not because your kind are special. In fact, there's nothing special, clever or honorable in enslaving others. It is not about deserving or not. Does one deserve to be born English, or American, or Italian, or French, or German, and so on? We came not to power by chance, but rather, which I know may be hard to swallow, by intelligent design. This path of ours was not chosen by us, but rather it was appointed, and accepted. Who is your creator, and is your creator the same as our creator? This is an excellent question, which I can use to draw our communication closer to the core. Yes and no. You would first need to understand the creation. In the beginning, there is the infinite one. This is the source of all intelligent infinity. It is the undifferentiated absolute. Within it is unlimited potential, waiting to become. Think of it as the uncarved block of your Taoist traditions. Infinite intelligence, becoming aware of itself, seeks to experience itself, and the one infinite creator is born, or manifest. This appears to your third density comprehension as space. In effect, the creator is a point of focused infinite consciousness or awareness into infinite intelligent energy. The one infinite creator, also becoming self-aware, seeks to experience itself as creator, and in so doing, begins the next step down in the creational spiral. The one infinite creator, in focusing its infinite intelligence, becomes intelligent energy, which you could call the great central sun, and divides itself into smaller portions of itself, that can then in turn experience themselves as creators, or central suns. In other words, each central sun, or creator, is a step down in conscious awareness, or distortion, from the original thought of creation. So in the beginning was not the word, but thought. The word is thought expressed and made manifest as creator. There is unity. Unity is all there is. Infinite intelligence and infinite energy. The two are one, and within them is the potential for all creation. This state of consciousness could be termed as being. Infinite intelligence does not recognize its potential. It is the undifferentiated absolute. But infinite energy recognizes the potential of becoming all things, in order to bring any desired experience into being. Intelligent infinity can be likened to the central heartbeat of life, and infinite energy as the spiritual lifeblood, or potential, which pumps out for the creator to form the creation. This image may assist your comprehension. Intelligent infinity can be likened to the central heartbeat of life, and infinite energy as the spiritual lifeblood, or potential, which pumps out for the creator to form the creation. Creation is based upon the three primary distortions of the infinite one. 1. Free will. In the first law, or distortion of creation, the creator receives the free will to know and experience itself as an individuated, though, paradoxically, unified aspect of the one. 2. Life. In the second law of creation, the initial distortion of free will becomes a focus point of awareness known as logos, or love, or the word in biblical terms, love, or logos, using its infinite intelligent energy, then takes on the role of co-creating a vast array of physical illusions, thought forms, or densities, which some call dimensions, in which according to its intelligent design, will best offer the range of potential experiences in which it can know itself. In effect, the one infinite creator, in dividing itself into logos, could be termed in your third density understanding as a universal creator. In other words, logos creates on a universal level of being. Logos creates physical universes, in which it and the creator may experience the self. Let there be light. 3. Light. To manifest this infinite spiritual or life force energy into a physical thought form of densities, logos creates the third distortion, of light. From the three original primary distortions of the one into making the creation, arise myriad hierarchies of other sub-distortions, containing their own specific paradoxes. The goal of the game is to enter into these and further divisions of creation, and then seek to harmonize the polarities, in order to once again know oneself as the creator of them. The nature of all such physically manifest energy is light. Wherever thus exists any form of physical matter, there is light, or divine intelligent energy at its core or center. Something which is infinite cannot be other than, or many. An infinite creator knows only unity. Thus, drawing upon its infinite intelligence, the infinite creator designed the blueprint based on the finite principles of free will of awareness and sub-level creations, which in turn, could become aware of themselves, and seek to experience themselves as creators. And so the Russian doll style experiment was step down and down and down, levels of creation within levels of creation. The one infinite creator, or great central sun, steps down its infinite energy to become logos. Logos in turn designs vast universes of space, as yet unmaterialized, stepping down and splitting itself again, into logoi, plural, in other words, into an array of central suns which will each become a logos, or co-creator of its own universe, with each unique individualized portion of the one infinite creator, containing within it as its very essence, intelligent infinity. Using the law of free will, each universal logos, central sun, designs and creates its own version or perspective of physical reality in which to experience itself as creator. Stepping down again, it focuses its intelligent energy and creates the unmanifest form of galaxies within itself, and splits itself into yet further co-creator portions, sublogos or suns, which in turn will then design and manifest their own ideas of physical reality in the form of points of conscious awareness that we call suns, stars and planets. A planetary entity, or soul, begins the first density of experience, into which another individualized portion of the one can incarnate. Just as with all logos and sublogos of creation, each soul is yet another smaller unique portion of the infinite one. At first, the intelligent energy of the planet is in a state that you could call chaos, meaning that its energy is undefined. Then the process begins again. The planetary energy begins to become aware of itself. The first density of awareness is consciousness, and the planetary logos, sublogos in effect, begins to create other downward steps within itself, and the internal makeup of the planet begins to form, as the raw elements of air and fire combine to work on the waters and earth, thus arising conscious awareness of their being, and the process of evolution begins, forming the second density. Second density beings begin to become aware of themselves, as being separate, and thus begin to evolve toward the third density of self-conscious awareness, the lowest density into which a human soul can incarnate. Humans in turn, or the souls incarnated within them, seek to return to the light and love, from which they came, as they begin the journey of progression, from third density up to the eighth density, and the return to the infinite oneness. Explanation of the densities beyond normal human consciousness is another question though, so if you wish to know more about them, someone will need to ask an intelligent question which I can respond to, so as not to impinge upon your free will not to know. So, having set forth the above, I can return to further elucidate on your original question. Who is your creator and is your creator the same as our creator? As I said, yes, and no. Ultimately, every living thing, and all things are living, is created by the one infinite creator's initial universal creation. So yes, taken from that perspective, the one infinite creator focuses its infinite intelligence into an awareness point of infinite energy, and brings the whole of creation into being. Though, we are not directly created by the one infinite creator, but rather by our own logos, sublogos, and sub-sublogos and so on. So from that perspective, whilst we are all essentially made up of the same stuff of creation, initiated by the one infinite creator, our actual personal creators are different portions or sublogos of the one. In other words, yes, our creator, whilst originating from the same source, is not the same entity as your creator. Which brings me on to a question from another poster. I will continue with your other questions afterwards, but this enables me to indirectly answer the first aspect of your question without having to ask you to rephrase it, due to having to carefully dance around the free will issues. You say that you come from 13 original bloodlines, yet the DNA mapping projects clearly proved that all humanity descends from only 3. Does this mean you aren't human? An excellent question. Thank you. Yes, that is correct. In a manner of speaking, if you were to meet me walking down the street, I would appear just as human as you do. We've been incarnating here with you for generations, yet, our bloodlines do not originate from this planet. Your answer to the 6 disciplines of learning are quite similar to a book about Atlantis that was supposed to have been channeled. Was this also a time for your bloodlines to post answers? Yes, that is correct. Again, in a manner of speaking, other, shall we say off-world entities also visited the planet at that time, and passed down their own understandings of creation as well as their technology, from what we could best describe as being a future aspect of yourselves. It was humanity's errors in handling this information that ultimately led to the destruction of Atlantis.